My name is Imani. I go by Mani. I make content for Hidradenitis Suppurativa, and I am just here to share my stories, and I want to hear some of your stories if you're comfortable. I'm excited to be here with you guys today, and this is Anna. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Anna Parang. I am a resident physician in dermatology. I currently work with Dr. Dave Louie and the awesome team at Wayne State helping treat HS. And I worked with the lovely team at Henry Ford doing research with HS in the past. So with you might know Dr. Huggins or Dr. Hamzavi. So it's really nice to be here and kind of hold a space for everybody to kind of share their experiences.
Awesome. So I am going to get started. If anybody wants to jump in, if they have any questions or just anything that you want to talk about, just raise your hand. This is a safe space. We're here to tell our stories, and I'm definitely here to listen to you guys. Is everybody feeling okay? Everybody's good? All right. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. So I remember being in the bathroom, and I was handling business, and I looked down and I saw these bumps. I said, this don't look normal. I said, this look real, what? So I remember my mom coming in, and eventually it kind of went away. So it started when I was 11 years old, but once it went away, we weren't too concerned about it at that point. So I ended up getting a flare-up because I was shaving when I got to high school, because I was like, I don't want to have no hair under my arms. So I wanted to wax. So I ended up getting a huge flare-up under my arm. And my mom was like, this ain't normal. I said it wasn't normal. So we ended up going to my primary care doctor, and she referred me to a dermatologist, and she was like, you have hidradenitis suppurativa. I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? I was like, I don't know what that is. And once she went into what it was, I was like, oh. Then she adds on top, this is something that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. Me? I was like, okay. So imagine high school, dealing with everything that's going on there, and then dealing with this on top of it is a lot. I know a lot of people didn't get diagnosed when they were around my age. I know a lot of people got diagnosed a little later in life. So I was very thankful that I was able to have a good dermatologist to really to diagnose me at the time. So it was definitely a lot to go through. I was depressed. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to date because I was like, I don't want my man to see this. So it was a lot going on through that time. These are a couple of pictures. I'm trying to think if there's one right here. I think the one, so where I have the blue bra at, the one next to it, that was a couple of weeks ago. It turned into this big, so we went from that, and then the one in the blue bra, and it was very tender. Eventually it did pop, and I have bandages on right now just covering it. So this is what I've gone through. It's a lot. Has anybody, raise your hand if you've ever felt ashamed of your HS? Embarrassed? And look around the room. That's why I do what I do, because we're here. It's a big community, and a lot of people don't know that. So that's when I ended up getting into social media. I literally remember posting this video. One, because I was bored, and two, I was like, why not just show it. It was literally like, why not? And once I posted that video, my life had changed. And I was like, oh, snap. There are other people going through this. And so I actually did eventually started for my surgery because I had surgery last July. I like that picture. I look so cute. Oh, so has anybody ever been through like surgery before? Raise your hands. Look around the room. We've all been through it, yeah. I was nervous, but I think one of the reasons I ended up doing the surgery was for my supporters. I wanted to be brave and I wanted to really try it out. And I'm like, at this point, what's the worst that could happen? You know, I'm trying. So this is the aftermath of the surgery. I wanted it just to have some relief. And eventually it was there. I should have put the before picture up there, but it was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. During that time that I had my surgery, I felt very hopeless and helpless as well too. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't lift my arm. Like, I was so sad. I couldn't even drive to the store to get some cookies. So I was very upset about that too. But it was a lot. It was definitely a lot. But I had to sit down and realize who I was and just being at peace with who I am and having that confidence. Because I had a lot of people surrounding me, and I had a lot of people who believed in me. So that's what really definitely kept me going. Plus, my grandma helped me with my laundry, too. So I was like, okay, this is nice. This is nice. I could get used to this. So I accepted the help. I accepted what I had, and I'm working through it. So these are the people who have helped me. It's a lot, and I'm grateful to have so many people in my life who want to see me do good. And anybody who has hidradenitis suppurativa, any condition, you're not alone. There's so many people who are going through something on the daily, and all we just need is kindness. I've always been a big person about being kind, because you never know what anybody is going through. Thank you, Mom. This is my mom, and my brother up here, too. This is my boss, my two best friends. Eva's at the top and Val is at the bottom. My grandparents are in the middle. My friend Jess, my trainer, my personal trainer, Jean. That's my mom, me, and my three brothers. I've just been supported, and it feels good, but I just want you guys to know that you're not alone, and we're here to support you. I'm here to support you. If you ain't got anybody, I'm here. So it's really, it feels good to know that you got people who stand behind you, because it is a lot. It is a lot. Sometimes I know I definitely want to be like Ma. Ma is brave. She is confident. She's very outspoken. But sometimes I can act like Imani, and I'm very quiet and sensitive, and I always want to be like her. And I strive to be like Ma, but I also want to be Imani as well too, and always show my vulnerability to everyone, because I really think that's important. And again, you guys are not alone. I know it's a lot, and I'm proud that you got up because it takes a lot. It took me a lot to get here. It even took me a lot to get in the car. So I appreciate everyone being here, and I appreciate everyone sharing their stories and really making this community known throughout the world. So y'all the best. Any questions, any stories that you guys have? Let's chat. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's go. Anything? Anyone? Hey.
Mirror, because I just have a hard time doing that now because I'll lift an arm or my breast and sometimes a flare up will happen and I'll need the mirror to look at it. So I guess I've been trying this thing where I sort of coach myself through it if I'm trying to seal up a wound by myself or just if I catch myself in the mirror and I'm just not feeling like myself, just trying to find affirmations and things to keep me in positive spirits and help me recognize myself when I'm not always feeling like myself.
Yeah, it's hard. I know, again, like, I really have to look at myself in the mirror and be like, you are that girl. Whether you got pads under your arm, whether, you know, it's draining, my clothes are all drenched and stuff like that, you know, I tell myself, and I really hold this in my heart, I'm stronger than what I think. I have people tell me all the time, Ma, you're so strong, oh my goodness. I see all the pictures, I see all of the videos that I've made, and I'm like, heck yeah, I'm strong. My advice is to definitely give yourself credit. Give yourself that validation of, I woke up this morning, I put my pads on today, I'm that girl, and can't nobody tell me nothing. Because nobody can. Let me hear you say it. Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Period. Just keep holding on. And just know that you got people behind you. But I definitely would say keep, because it takes a lot, and give yourself credit. Because I think a lot of people just forget to give themselves that credit. So that's what I would say. We're here. And I like your hair, girl. Oh, the nails? Oh, okay.
So one thing I tell myself, and I try to tell myself every day, is it just does not define me, which took a long time to get to that point, to tell myself that, and to look myself in the mirror and say, I love you. Because it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But I do it regardless of my flares, what I look like. I have to tell myself that, because if I don't, I go in a deep, dark hole. And it's hard to get out of that hole. So just tell yourself that every day, whatever you got to do. You woke up today. You did it.
Yep.
It's one day at a time, and it's hard to overcome that.
Yeah.
But you just got to do it.
Yeah.
So just my words of affirmation I tell myself. And I tell myself I am beautiful regardless.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Anybody else?
Hi everybody. My name is Warwick. I'm her younger brother, and I just want to say I'm proud of you, Monty. Like, you always told me you're proud of me, but I'm proud of you because I couldn't walk a second what you deal with. So, you know, just keep going, keep being confident in yourself, and just keep being the elder of all the brothers and sisters that we have. And I couldn't ask for another sister, older sister. So keep being confident, keep leading, keep making content, and keep motivating other people. And you say it to me all the time, but I'm proud of you, and I love you, all right? So keep going, and I'm proud whatever your next journey is for you.
I love you too. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who is in this room today. It wasn't until 2020 that I even knew that anybody else had this condition, let alone what hidradenitis suppurativa was. I've been dealing with this since I was about 8th grade, 9th grade. And to see it go from maybe one flare a month to being in multiple areas every day since February 2020, I've been in pain. I almost didn't come here yesterday despite buying a ticket and everything. I was so overwhelmed. I even had to sneak off to the bathroom to get myself together, let out a cry, because walking into this room, not knowing anybody, but knowing that we all suffer from the same thing, it was really hard and very overwhelming to realize that I'm not in this alone and that we are all a team together. We are all a community together, and we are all family together. I'm very thankful for everybody that has shared some knowledge and has provided an ear and shared their stories, because coming back today was very affirming for me. So I just want to say thank you to everybody, because it's not easy. To look in the mirror and have a flare-up on your face was very hard, let alone to deal with it under my breast, in my groin, and everywhere else. It makes me wonder, like, who's gonna also love me when I don't love me?
Yeah.
But every day, love is a verb, and we gotta choose that, and we gotta apply it. And I just wanna say I love you all. Thank you.
Yeah. Love you too, girl. There was definitely, because I love posting and I love empowering people and just being on that social media scene, but I didn't want to cry up there. I didn't want nobody to see me crying. I'm just like, I'm good, John. Yeah. I posted a video maybe like a couple months ago. I can't remember when I posted it, but it was very recent, and I was crying. Like, I said, I can't do this. I said, I'm in so much pain, because I had a flare up right here, and I gotta walk. I exercise, so like I'm trying to get on like the treadmill, because one thing about me, I'm gonna walk somewhere. But I couldn't do it. And something was like, Monty, you need to show them this. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want nobody to see me cry. My family, a lot of them didn't know I had it. I didn't want nobody to see me in pain, because I know, it hurts them to see me hurt. So I tried to really put on this face of like, I'm good. And I'm sure we've all done it. So it's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to have all those feelings, because it's a lot mentally, emotionally, physically. So I definitely really do understand that, and it's okay to be upset. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be a new day in the morning, and we're gonna do what we always do, make it happen. So that's the biggest message that I want to send to you guys, that it's okay, and we're gonna get through it, because we are warriors. You know what? Come to think of it, they really did do a good name for this, like us being like the warriors, because warriors fight. They fight every day to really fight for what they want and fight for peace. So as long as you're getting up, even if it's opening your eyes and going to get some tea, you did it. And you're fighting every day. Anyone else? I don't know, do you want to add anything? Or
I just want to say thank you for letting me be here to witness your stories, and I admire you all. I think you're so brave and wonderful and beautiful, and having been working with HS for a few years now, I have to say that we as physicians probably wouldn't be here as advanced as we are with HS without this community, because really takes the community of people who live with AHS to kind of put this on the map and like, this is important. And, I'll have patients come tell me like, oh, I use this. And I'm like, tell me more about it. What are you using? I want to know, because that might help somebody else. So you probably already knew this, but this community really is important for advancing this. So please, continue coming, and I commend you for being so brave and willing to be here. So I don't want to cry either, just because I think for me this is obviously not about me, but like as a physician, some of us really actually do really want to help you and don't want you to have HS. We want to get rid of it, and it's like I wish I could give a magic cure to everybody in this room, but I can't. But I just feel I appreciate you sharing the rawness, because I think also sometimes patients don't always share in the room with us, which hopefully you've found a good physician that you can be able to share your feelings with. I mean, some people have shared their feelings. I recently had a person who she came in, and she had never been officially diagnosed, and she just she was so happy, when she met me and everything, and then she just started breaking down, and I think in that moment I was like, wow, I was thinking I don't remember the last time somebody actually let their feelings out in the patient room. So I encourage you to do that with, we want to hear those things, and I think sometimes you don't get to have those conversations with people, and as a physician, I want to be able to hold that space for you, and to be able to say, I'm so glad you're here right now, and we're going to help you. We're definitely, we've got options. So I don't want to make this about me, but, I am really grateful to be here, and, anybody who has any stories they want to share about, things they've tried or things that they've been able to, maybe, I don't know if you want to talk about frustrations that you've had in the medical field, or, just anything. If there's something that you were able to teach a physician or somebody else that you knew who had HS, or you didn't know who had HS and it came up in conversation. I mean, we're kind of leaving this floor open.
Anybody got any?
A frustration that I had when I started seeing a dermatologist, I think I was the age of 18, 19. No, maybe 20. I'm not sure, but I had one. And I just thought it was a common boil. And when I went to the dermatologist, she just spent not even 5 minutes with me and told me to take a prescription and left the room. Didn't explain what it was, didn't explain how to take care of myself. And when I went to see another dermatologist, again, same thing, just dismissed. Well, then it went away for a little while. Well, then a few years later, I just kept getting multiple. So I never went back to a dermatologist because I didn't feel the support, and I didn't feel like I was listened to. So it definitely hurt me in the long run, for sure. No one listened to me when I wanted to be listened to. It was just I felt like I was more of a dollar. I paid $50 to go see him, and out the door thanks, bye. It's frustrating.
That's what I was talking to someone who DM'd me. I said, we just want to be heard. I was I think that is one of the most easiest things that can even just make a difference in my life, is just me being heard and listened to. Because a doctor just or a dermatologist just dismissing that and just be you'll be fine. I'm like, wait a minute, this don't look fine. So I totally understand that.
It's the same thing with gynecologists. Mine started below the waist, and I was seeing my gynecologist yearly. She never once addressed it to me, never said anything to me, so I just thought everything was how it's supposed to be. Just a big mystery until I brought it to her attention. And she's like, yeah, you do have that. Well, how come you never told me?
Right.
It's getting worse. You're down there, you see everything.
Right. And you're
little
not gonna
help
tell
would be
me?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely frustrated that so
Yeah.
many like professionals don't educate themselves on it or spend enough time to research it and just, take time with their patients.
Yeah.
So it's very
Yeah.
frustrating for patients and it's tough for us.
I know, and I'm hoping that because we came a long way. To see organizations like this, like just putting the word out there and just hearing about more research that's going into it, I'm just very glad about that. But I'm hoping that it becomes more of a thing, more than what it already is, so
Agree.
people can get the help that they need and treatments that they need, just to handle HS. Because
Yes.
I know it. Telling you, girl, it's a lot.
It
It's
is.
a lot going on.
Yes.
So one thing I want to encourage you to do, and I'm sorry if you go through those experiences, because I have heard that, not for me, because I try to listen to people, but I've heard a lot of people say they felt dismissed. And I always will tell people, hopefully you all have found somebody you trust and you can feel heard by, but if you don't, it's okay to look and find somebody you jive with. It's like a therapist or like a friend. This is going to be hopefully not lifelong, but it's chronic. So you're going to be seeing this person. So you want to. It's okay, to go to different people and find the one that you feel comfortable with that will listen to you. I think some people feel that they're just limited to that one doctor, and I'm sure that the organization can help you find those physicians in your area, because I would never want a patient to feel like that, and I'm really sorry that you felt that way. Is it okay if I ask, have you found somebody that you're okay with talking to?
Yes.
And okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Any other? Period. There we go. Get into it. All right. Sorry.
I don't know if everybody heard me talk about stuff earlier. I know in some of our conversations that we had earlier, we were talking about things that have worked for us. With my flare-up that showed up on my face, I started using a high-frequency wand, which led me to use it everywhere that I was having a flare-up, and I did see a lot of good results from that. But what has gotten my flare-up on my face in remission now for over 1.5 years is red light therapy. So I don't know if anybody else has used that or anything, or has tried it and seen results as well, but I know I was talking to my dermatologist who was on our panel earlier, Steve, about it, and even him and other people a part of the Wayne State Physicians Group weren't aware at all. So definitely having those talks with our care team is very important, because if it helps me, it might help somebody else. I was able to even talk to my OB about my magic healer and how that helped. And she brought to light that some people are dealing with HS so bad that need a colostomy bag. And that just blew my mind, that it can become this horrific for us to deal with. I don't know if anybody else has had good results with things that they've tried on their own, but I would love to hear more, because at this point I'm just like, what else can I use? How else can I use this, and what's gonna work, so I can tell the next person and they can tell the next person, and then we find something that works. And the whole grand spectrum of everything.
So thank you for sharing that, because that's an example of the things that I learn from patients, because unfortunately we're limited in a lot of the treatments that we have for HS, but I love hearing these things, because then, I wish I could say I know it all, but I know I don't, and so that's why, and I'm very open about patients using things that don't hurt them, and if it benefits them, then that's great, but I'm not supposed to be giving medical advice here, so this is not me giving medical advice, but infrared, is it a red wand?
It was a 3-panel red light that just kind of hovered over your face.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to the mask that they wear, but it wasn't so direct on the skin.
So red light is anti-inflammatory, so there's probably something to it. I don't know if there's anything in the literature about it. There probably is somewhere, but it's that's what I'm saying, this community is like helping with advanced this field, because I'm learning this now, so I can guarantee you that I'm going to look at the research and then talk to my patients about it when I see them next. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Hi, ladies. You guys are killing it. I want to share the fact that are you a dermatologist? Sorry, I came in a
I'm
little
a
late.
resident physician, dermatology resident.
Okay, girl, I see you. So I had a similar story before. I was struggling with HS since about 12, puberty or whatever. And then I didn't get diagnosed till 9 years later. And, your diagnosis date is like something that you don't forget, whether you have the greatest dermatologist or not, because you have to sit with the fact that, you know what's going on with your body. But then they were like, there's no cure, there's not really a treatment option, it's negative after that, And so I didn't go back to the dermatologist for till last year. And I got diagnosed in 2014. So it was like a nice little 10-year gap. And you have to really get a lot of courage to go back to the dermatologist. So I finally did, because I felt an obligation to the HS community with sharing my life on social media. I just can't be out here giving you guys all kinds of, I use this product, but I haven't been to the dermatologist in 10 years. It wasn't a good look. So I go to the dermatologist, and I just go to a random dermatologist one day. I had moved to a different city, and I think that really empowered me to make the appointment. And even up to the day of actually having to go to the appointment, because they send you the little text before to confirm your day. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go, and then the day of, you're like, do I really want to go be triggered right now? I don't think I want to do that. Well, I actually went, and by the grace of all the derm gods, she was so amazing, and she had a student in there with her, and I just remember feeling like it was a pivotal moment, not just for me, but for that student, to see what HS was in real life, to be educated by somebody that was in the room, and for me to be in the room and be able to say, after doing so much advocacy work, I was kind of giving my dermatologist the test, let me see if she's about to blame me for what's going on with my skin. But I remember crying with her in that room for my 15 minutes with her, because she was so adamant on teaching this student that this is what HS looks like, and it looks different on different people. And if you take anything from being in this room with me and her today, this is not your patient's fault. This is not anything that they really have control of. And I just remember her saying that to that student and feeling, I just started crying, because I'm so many times people go to the dermatologist and it's the opposite conversation, or they leave with so much shame, feeling like they did something wrong. And so I just want to encourage you to never forget that part, because I feel like she brushed over it simply fast because she was in the midst of the appointment. But I let her know before I left that she had such a positive impact on my HS journey that day. I don't even think she truly understood. I'm apologizing for crying to her. I'm you just don't even realize what you did. I didn't even think there were good dermatologists out here anymore. And so you guys have the opportunity to change the trajectory of people's HS journey in those 10, 15 minutes that you have with them. And so I just encourage you, as you already are, since you're here talking to us, to just be one of those unicorn derms. Because you guys, we do have a chronic illness. We're not the type of person who you see, once a year. You see us quite often. And so being able to gain that kind of relationship with you guys and being transparent and feeling the feels is what we need as the patient, as the HS warriors. And so I just wanted to spread a little bit of positivity that even if you don't go to the dermatologist because it was really triggering after having your first appointment and getting that diagnosis and having to sit with the fact that you have a chronic inflammatory skin condition, you can go back, you can find a new dermatologist. They can, they can be that unicorn, and they can change the trajectory of where your HS journey is going, give you treatment options, hear you out. And so that honestly changed the way I looked at doctors, and I was it built up my belief again in the medical system just by seeing one good dermatologist. And then it gave me hope for her student that she taught that day, that it's like, it's the power of one. We often want to change the world at one time. But just like you said, like I think I truly see the power of the HS community alone and on the things that we share with each other, the products that are working, what's not working, what to stay away from. Like, we really are making such a huge difference, every single last one of you in this room, from the patients to the derms to the people who are doing legislation and policy. So I just want to thank you for being here, and I hope that that story resonates with you, and you know, ask those difficult questions on how are you really feeling today, you know, like, and that's okay if it's not good, because I know you want to just let it slip off your mouth, but to ask the deeper questions and develop a really great relationship with your HS patients.
Thank you for sharing that. And you know, I never knew this until today, that anybody was made to feel like it was their fault. And I apologize on the behalf of everyone else who has been like, who acted that way. And I think, you know, it's good to hear these perspectives. I think when you go in the room, it does become a little robotic, but then, you know, it can be like, okay, for me, there's a person here. And, you know, I do listen, but I think, you know, it may be worth delving in more or saying, you know, I just want to let you know that this is nothing that you did. I think that can go a long way, but I never realized that that was a thought. Like, there are certain conditions where people thought that they did something. So I think I appreciate you sharing that, because that could like kind of create some relief for an
And my
individual.
last dermatologist, like, they never told me that, like, it was my fault. You know what I mean? Like, the one who gave me my diagnosis, she was never like, and by the way, this is your fault. But the lack of information had me leaving her office feeling like, well, damn, there is nothing really that I can do. She didn't really say like why I have HS. So it leaves enough room in our brain to start that isolation and that shame. And so just by affirming to them that, hey, I just want to let you know, I know what you're going through is really hard, but this is not your fault at all. Like, there's not one specific thing that you did to be like, oh, well, now this is why you have HS. Of course, there are things that we can always be doing to better our lifestyle and our quality of life, but it's not one single thing that you did to be like, this is your fault. So, it's a really powerful sentence that honestly helps us so much.
Thank you for sharing that, and I'm glad you found your unicorn.
Me too, girl, me too.
Any other questions, statements? Did you have a question? I saw your hand raised in the pink. Did you have a question? Yeah.
Please.
You sure?
Please do. Oh, okay, vocals. Okay, sorry, my bad, yeah, sorry. I'm back on track.
So yeah, it does take a lot to come to something like this, because we fight silently every day, I feel like. But I've just been thinking about lately, I'm trying to be, you know, Miss Independent over here, and the model isn't working. So just sometimes you have to step back and ask for help. So I'm learning that along the way.
I just want you to know I'm proud of you, because you made it here. I keep saying that is a big thing to even be here. And again, it's hard to get to that point, because I didn't get to this point until maybe like a year ago. What are we in, June? Yeah, so it'll be a year this coming July. We don't give ourselves enough credit. We don't give ourselves enough credit for really being here. So I just want you to know from me that I'm very proud of you for being here. You're beautiful. The pink is giving, girl, because you really over there killing it, period. But I understand, and just know that we're here with you, and we all understand, because we've all been through it. And if anybody doesn't have HS who's in here, like, we all like are here supporting the people who do have it, and we've seen it from A to Z. So you're not alone. And it's okay to have them days where you just like, I ain't getting out the bed. Bye. But, you know, like, it's okay. It's definitely okay to have those days. I had that day like 3 days ago. Probably might have it tomorrow. It depends. Actually, maybe not tomorrow. Maybe when I got to go to work on Monday. But, but I totally understand that, and I really am proud. I'm proud for everybody for getting out the bed, coming here, being here with y'all nice smiles and everything like that. Everybody looks so nice today and everything. Oh, okay. But it does take a lot. It definitely does. Any other questions? Oh, hey, girl, what's poppin'?
Hey, we have about like 3 minutes left, so I'll try to make it quick. But I just wanted to say, I think one of my first encounters was going to the emergency room to get a boil lanced, and I had a horrible nurse, very ignorant, that just started saying, oh, well, this looks like a herpes, or have you gotten an STD test? And was saying it. I was like 14, and I was with my mom, and I just snapped at her. And I was just thinking in my head, like, I wouldn't be dating anybody with this thing in between my legs, and I still didn't know what it was. And then fast forward, going to the dermatologist, I think in my head I kind of had like, I guess I won't date until I have this resolved and when it goes away. And I felt like going to the dermatologist, even speaking to my mom, who was like the best caretaker, there's this focus on getting it away, like going to that next step of medication and it just was never made really clear to me that this was never going away. Yeah. And it's something that you're gonna deal with forever. And it wasn't until I got onto the Facebook groups and into the community that was made more apparent to me, that there was this, it sucked to be in the midst of so much ambiguity, but, and I wouldn't wish this disease upon anyone, but I feel very blessed to have the people that are in this community, because they made it so much easier to accept so much unknown that comes with this.
Because growing up, I had never seen nothing like this. I had no one to look up to. Like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, like I see you nodding over there. Like, I had nobody to look up to. I was like, just had to look in the mirror, and it was just me, myself, and I. I was like, here we go. But I definitely understand. Definitely understand. Especially with like dating too. I thought it was over for me. I was like, well, this is it. I was like, I'm not gonna, I don't want to date. I don't want to even be bothered with it. Now, I think I'm just so comfortable with myself. You either accept me as I am, or deuces. Cause I love who I am, and my body is gorgeous. I'm beautiful. I'm shutting it down always, So, and that's something that I've always believed. If, the people who support me are going to support me, the person who loves me is going to love me for who I am. And that's just it on that, because I've been through a lot of, like, relationships and been with people who, like, that I've always tried to just, like, impress, so they wouldn't see my scars, who wouldn't, like, so they wouldn't be like, oh, what's that? I would just do things to kind of, like, distract them from my body, because I was just like, okay, maybe if I do this, they'll like me. Maybe if I do, and it's a lot. And I've been in a lot of situations where I've been depressed, I've been sad because of that. But now I'm very confident in who I am, and it took a while to get there, but I'm confident in who I am, and one day, I know I'm gonna get my man. One day it's gonna happen.
Amen.
I'm gonna put in that work, and still am, but I love myself, and I think that's the most important thing. I know if, like, down the road, somebody's gonna love me for who I am, so I know there's hope.
Could I just say one thing? I just wanted to say, I know it's easier said than done. Like, it might feel like you feel very lonely, and if anybody in this room feels lonely, feels they're like at their wits' end, like, please know that, like, I think sometimes we have these like blinders on us, and it's hard not to have the blinders, but like, there's this whole world of like love and support out there. So if you ever like, always remember the glimmer. There's always going to be somebody there, and like if it's not your family member, it's this community. You know, so don't forget that. I really encourage you to, like, in your times of, and you know, there's nothing wrong with feeling down, but I feel like if you feel down and you keep kind of spiraling, just know that there is somebody out there that really loves you and like is going to be here for you.
We got your
Yes.
back. Shout out to everybody virtual. We got your back.
Did anybody else want to share anything before we close the space temporarily? Please.
Thank you. When they showed the slide of HS being up there with the other diseases, like heart disease, diabetes, things of that nature, I have a lot of comorbidities, which I've mentioned earlier, but this is the only disease that has actually shut me down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have, like I said, Crohn's, diabetes, fiber. I have a lot of things, you know, and I understand that, but this is the only one that nobody knows about until I joined Hope for Detroit, or HS Detroit, or
Hope for HS?
yes, Hope for HS. So everybody knows about kind of all my other things. This one nobody knows about because I can't wrap my head around it in a sense of how, you know, or what did I do, which I know I didn't do anything, but I just can't process it to even talk to people about it. So I go into deep, dark places because I don't understand. Even though, you know, Dave Louis, he's my doctor, he's my specialist. I go to the VA and they send me to him. I was going to him for surgeries, and the way he talked to me and helped me explain things, some of my areas, he was like, well, we don't need surgery for this. You know, so he's not quick to, let's do surgery, let's do this. The ones that need it, he did it. The other ones we just see, but I always have to get a referral to see him. But I prefer him. And just mentally, I don't understand how this shuts me down. You know, it's like, you know, I'm disabled veteran. I've been through a lot, seen a lot for 15 years, and this is the only thing that I just can't accept. And I know that's a part of the healing process. I got to accept it, and I just can't.
Because that's what she told me. She was like, yeah, you have hidradenitis suppurativa. And then once she kept telling me, I was like, I didn't want to accept it. I was like, that can't be me. I said, couldn't be me. But I definitely understand. I definitely understand.
So having a support group helps, even though if I don't say much in the support groups, I'm still learning. You know, and with that learning, I internalize it, and then I think, and I have no choice, but I still like, well, I can do this, I can try this, you know, so I'm doing everything that I think, and for it to not, it gets better, but I'm putting in too much work to still be like this, and I just have to accept that that's what it is, but I have to also accept my wins, you know, be kind to myself. You know, so I'm not doing those things, but I'm trying to get better at it because I know that will help.
Definitely.
Giving yourself grace.
That's
not always easy to do. I know. I know personally. So.
Definitely.
Anybody else? Well, I just really, like I said before, feel honored to be able to share this space with you all, and thank you so much for sharing your stories and your journeys. And, you know, I've definitely going to take so much with myself from today to help future generations of patients and med students and physicians. And thank you for being brave. And I just want to say that I love both Mott and Imani. So I love them both. So
Thank
I gotta find a name
you.
for my alter ego now.
Yeah. That's everybody's homework assignment. We'll meet
Yes,
back in
yes,
class,
yes.
later. Everybody, make sure you guys get another name, okay? I'm just kidding. But yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course.
For just listening and just
Yeah, of
being here
course.
with
I'm-
us. Like, I
I'm
really
so
do
happy to,
appreciate
yeah.
that. Thank you for everybody here. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for continuing to be a warrior, waking up, and just handling business the way business needs to be handled, because it is hard, but we get it done. We definitely do get it done. So I thank you guys so much for being here and being present.